This drama contains adult language and partial nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Chris Arnold from the Dallas Mavericks and 105.3 The Fan, and you're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast, talking sports, current events, guy stuff, and everything in between. Now open up a cold one and drink along, because they are here. Got you down.
You can buy me a drink.
We're all drunk.
Hello, and welcome, drunk dudes and dolls and drunk sports pod turds to this edition of the Drunk Sports Podcast.
Woo!
We are live from Tailgaters in Plano, Ohio Road, just south of 121 proper, the toll road 121, as we are each and every Wednesday night for 65-cent wings, both boneless and bone-in.
Drumlets.
So the boys mainly like the boneless, but we know the chicks that are here like the bone-in.
No. I mean, I know you're going for joke, but really and truly, it's you have to leave
the other way around.
You have to leave the bone in the wing. If it's boneless,
Even for the boys,
if it's boneless, it's a nugget. That's right. You're eating a chicken nugget.
Right. No, I agree. But they sell them both ways. I want to promote each.
I agree. Oh yeah, no, you can. Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't want to call them chicken nuggets.
Well, I mean,
It might be trademarked.
you didn't say McNugget.
Oh, well, you just did. We're getting sued.
By who?
McDonald's.
We're starting with fighting already, boys.
All right, fine. Bring the clown on. I'll whip that clown's ass.
I've had dreams like that before.
Where you were whipping a clown's ass?
Yes.
I'm scared of clowns.
Katie dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
Again, live from Tailgaters. And they do have wings. Did we mention wings?
Yeah, we did.
65 cents. We are here each and every Wednesday night from 8 to 10. We ask that you guys come out and hang with us. Get here early. Have a few beers with us. Have a few shots with us. My new favorite shot, by the way, I just did one. I'm doing several more as the night rolls on.
Bacon grease?
No, that's my old favorite shot.
Okay.
We were out here with Jeb the other night, and he offered me a shot, and I smelled it. I'm like, oh, it's a lemon drop. That's a really good lemon drop. Did the shot. And I said, that is the best lemon drop I've ever had. He goes, no, that was just a Deep Eddy's lemon chilled.
Yep.
That's my new favorite shot. It's delicious. Come out and do some Deep Eddy's lemon chilled.
Simple is sometimes the best, right?
Brad and Lady Brad are here. Gerb and not Lady Gerb are here. Ford's here with Lady Ford working the floor.
All right.
Grace is here,
Yes.
a.k.a. Kangaroo Girl.
That's right.
The blonde over here that I don't know is filming us on the phone, which, by the way, is not the first time that's happened to me today. We've got
Where
Jason and Katie,
Uh-huh.
and Katie's hot friend,
Okay.
who I don't remember her name.
Because you're
We're
stupid.
going to call her Jessica. No, we already have a Jessica. Jennifer. She will be Jennifer for the rest of the night until I learn her name.
Okay.
And I am with Colby and Gerb. If you guys are a fan of the Big Red Free Show, then you're in for a treat because Big Red is not here. He is hailing up on Big Red business up in Monroe City, Missouri.
That's right.
Is that a euphemism?
Stay hard, Big Red.
Never mind.
We love you.
Forget the euphemism. I don't want that mental picture.
I promise you I can't fill his seat, but I'll give it a run tonight, boys.
Well, you might be a permanent fixture after that. We're just saying.
All right.
We're just saying.
Damn.
We've got a great show for everybody tonight. We're going to go around the sports. We've got the regular Colby content, which is by far the best content of the show, for sure.
Well,
We're going to play Would You Rather. Our top 9 at 9 tonight, boys, the strangest facts about the human body.
Oh.
Not my human body. In general, the human body.
Is that going to be like, is it female or male dominated? Like what? I mean, like, is it general body or
the
Colby's body?
human?
I mean,
I don't want to talk about Colby's body. I just saw a picture of way more than I needed to see.
Hey,
And that was only from the waist up.
he's
That I know of.
got some chicken fingers in them bellies.
He's got some-
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're talking about the fact that they look kind of like chicken fingers.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And there's 8 of them, 8-pack.
Okay, apparently you looked a lot closer than I did because I didn't see chicken fingers.
Well, he put the picture right in my face, so I didn't have
Bet
a
he
choice.
did.
Yeah.
Probably not the first time that's
I don't
happened
blame
today.
him.
Showing you. Never mind.
He should be proud of it. I don't blame him. Shit.
All right, then.
Shit. I'm proud of him.
We're going to kick the show off with this.
And now it's time for Around the Sports on the Drunk Sports Podcast. Brought to you by your mom.
It is Around the Sports. Lots of sports things going on in the world today. We've got NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. A lot of Mavs things.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the Mavs things. And also, boys, I'm going to take you down. We're going to take a little stroll together down Mavericks memory lane.
Stop trying to hold my hand.
As
It
we
ain't gonna
talk
be
about-
like the show, like the like trivia game. You said it was like that was like the worst game ever we did at the golf center. Is it?
No, that was what they said, not me. It was a great
okay.
trivia game. They just didn't know the answers.
No, I didn't either. So
Now we're going to take a stroll down Mavs memory lane as we discuss a possible head coaching candidate for the Mavs.
Right.
But of course, we got to get into the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, and I'll ask the same question I've asked for the previous 3 weeks. Is anyone other than me interested in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now?
I'm really not.
no zero. Check.
No?
no check.
Really not.
Well, Columbus isn't in it.
the Star are the Stars
aren't
playing?
in it.
All right, then no.
Has
Not
Columbus ever been in it?
Yeah, in the playoffs, yes.
Yeah, one. Yeah, come on. I mean, it's a little
However-
sentimental for me,
My Montreal Canadiens,
Nobody gives a shit.
Les Habitants de Montreal,
Still don't.
are still in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I'm still calling the Montreal Islanders finals, with Montreal winning in 6. But there is a story, all right? There is a story in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that story is the New York Islanders. Now, Colby, you're a little younger than me.
Uh huh.
You don't remember the early 80s New York Islanders
Okay.
when they won 4 Stanley Cups in a row, 80, 81, 82, and 83.
Yeah, that was right
Mike-
before my sports consciousness.
Mike Bossy was a beast for the Islanders. Dude, they dominated the NHL, and that was a dream team of players back in the day.
You remember that?
Yes.
You were
Oh,
like
I was already honky?
at 10.
I might have just did a racial slur on the air.
You did like
Oh,
three
you were
of them in a
you were
row.
20.
I was hockey conscious already.
You were 20 years.
10.
Yeah,
I
you were
was
20.
10.
You were 20 then. So yeah,
I was
you're right.
playing
You're
hockey already, so I was watching the Stanley Cup playoffs
right. They start at 20. You start playing hockey at 20.
at like 6.
Oh, 20. So, but you were 20. You were late.
Garb's trying to be funny right now.
Uh huh. I'm still I'm still
God
waiting
damn
on
it, Griggs.
where you're going. I know where he's going.
So I had hockey consciousness of the New York Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers,
Yeah,
How
good
dare
God,
they.
how's your talking today?
I
They
need
were-
another shot.
No,
That's
I
what
don't
happens
think you do.
When you start talking about Canadian sports, that's what happens. You get
It
all
is not a
frustrated.
Canadian sport, sir. It is an American sport.
Yeah,
You,
'cause
Edmonton's Canadian. You said
you've said Canadian places
Yeah.
I
today.
have Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto, Quebec, Calgary.
Are you just naming off every single place that you know in Canada?
To
Vancouver.
Saskatchewan, eh?
look,
You ever been to Saskatchewan, eh?
Vancouver's pretty
With
cool.
the moose?
Vancouver's
doesn't
pretty cool.
Saskatchewan sound like that place in between the balls and the anus of a Sasquatch?
Baby dolls.
Wow.
That's it. The Saskatchewan.
What if it was a female? You can't call him one. Saskatchewitch.
Yeah.
It's
Saskatchegrace.
Wait, did you just correlate witch with Grace?
Colby, she didn't hear me. We don't need to
No,
repeat
she
that.
said what really loudly. I think she did.
So lots of news in the Stanley Cup playoffs. This, by the way, the Islanders, as well as they're doing now, they haven't won a cup since the 83 season.
Uh-huh.
They haven't won a conference championship since the 84 season. They haven't won a division title since the 88 season.
Uh-huh.
So everyone that's not a Montreal Canadiens fan is rooting for the New York Islanders. As well, y'all should be,
Yeah.
because that's the story.
Good.
The NBA playoffs that literally no one cares about.
There we go. Here's the
Nobody
interesting
watches
stuff.
the NBA.
Everybody. In fact, all the ratings are up by
So we're
quite
going
a
to take
bit.
a look
Are
at
they
the
really?
ratings
Yeah, they
tomorrow. And literally at 8:10 p.m., the ratings on our show are going to be going kind of like the Mavs season and the Mavs organization.
I debate that.
Really?
Yep.
All right, well, let's forego playoff talk.
Okay.
Now let's talk playoffs. Of course, we got Phoenix and the Clippers and Milwaukee and the Hawks.
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard is still out. By the way, the Phoenix and Clippers game last night, one for the ages.
That was amazing.
Pretty epic.
That was amazing.
Not going to lie. If every NBA game was like that, I would watch it.
You like the last 19 minutes?
I
that
like the
took
last shot of
45
the game.
minutes? Took 45 minutes, the last 19 seconds?
Yeah, so let's address that for a second. This freaking review process is a joke. It literally took 15 minutes to play the last minute and a half of the game because they had
Right.
4 reviews.
Right.
Reviews are supposed to be 2 minutes.
Well, they are, but they never are. Even from football to baseball to everywhere else, anytime you go to review, you're going to have a huddle of umpires, referees, or let's just cut in the middle and call them rumpires. And they're standing over watching a camera, and they're waiting on somebody to finally make the decision of, oh, hey, no, that's what happened. And they're waiting on one person to do it because that person is the one that's going to get flogged if they end up being wrong.
Yeah, there's too many. There's too many wieners in the urinal, right? I mean, right?
Wow.
It's more than
Seriously,
one.
I mean,
There's too
seriously.
many.
Is that an Ohio
Right.
thing?
Right. No, I mean, just you think about it.
By
I mean,
the way,
it's just-
PGA
I'm
Pro
trying
John
not to.
Gerber is here, and Colby Sapp is here. I failed to do introductions. My
yeah,
bad.
you forget. It's
Sorry.
your show. I get
It
it.
is my show,
I get it.
but I can't do it without y'all.
We get it.
So-
Y'all make me look good.
As
You
far
can
as
run
that
the board.
shot, that was amazing. The NBA playoffs have been pretty exciting too. I mean, the flow, the play. You've got your young stars. The reason why that you have your ratings are up is not the same teams are in it. You've got new and young blood traveling through most of this, and the one team that doesn't have the new blood in it is missing their new blood with Kawhi Leonard being down.
Is he new blood?
And no, young blood, old blood. Sorry,
There you go,
yeah,
okay.
that's what I meant. Old blood.
We know what you mean.
Yeah, well, I was rolling. Now I'm just kind of tripping over this barrel like Donkey Kong rolled
All
it
right,
at me.
Lance. All right, Lance.
So, but no, the playoffs have been great, and the ratings are up, and it's something that when you're watching, the flow of the game is a little better. We're getting to see they're letting them play a little bit harder. They're letting a little bit more physicality happen because it is the playoffs, and it is genuinely a great watch right now, unless your name's IndyCar 10.
So I have a question.
Is there
for you.
any? Is there any really surprise that these teams that are in right now are supposed to be? Is there a surprise team that should have been in that's not? I mean,
yeah, I mean,
The Clippers are a surprise.
really?
The Clippers aren't a
Oh.
surprise for me.
I don't
not
think
having
so.
Brooklyn in there.
Brooklyn's
but
a
it-
surprise.
Barring injuries, they'd be in obviously.
Right.
Think that, but that's just part. That's just part of the game. But is there any? I mean,
Well,
is
and
there
Brooklyn
any?
doesn't have a head coach.
I mean, who do you think
Yes,
the best
they do.
team? Who do you think the best team is left?
Milwaukee.
No, I don't think so. Not even. I don't think so. I think
Milwaukee.
I don't see it.
As far as the best team left, if they're fully healthy, it's the Clippers.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'd say the
Ew,
same thing.
gross.
I agree with Colby.
I mean,
100%.
You've got defense, you've got offense, you've got a guy that can score at will. I mean,
Who is that?
Kawhi Leonard. You watched it during the Mavericks games.
Yeah.
He can score. You just go look at a stat line and stop just shitting on everything that says basketball on it.
100% agree. I think the Clippers are the best team.
But are they going to make it? Probably not.
we
Not without Kawhi.
I think he plays game 3. I think they tie it up. They can't put all the heat on Paul George, just my opinion. But like I said, I agree with you 100%. All things equal, I think Clippers are the best team left.
Y'all are gross.
I don't think they're going to go ahead and take the thing. This might be the actual time when we see Chris Paul succeed in the playoffs.
The next time will be the first time.
This will be the first time.
When's he going to play again, though?
Next game,
Oh, is he?
the game after. I mean, as long as this team can hold on without him, and then he jumps in, that seals it. That's done.
Yeah.
Longer he gets to rest, then he comes in, and now they've got it's
Huge advantage because they're up 2-0. Now
Yeah.
he gets some rest. I mean, he's asymptomatic, right? So he's not like on his deathbed.
He's
Now
the-
he's getting some rest.
Yeah, he's the cavalry.
Yeah.
He's
The
the
Clippers
cavalry.
can't beat Milwaukee.
Huh?
The Clippers can't beat Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Every
yeah,
day
yeah.
of the week.
Anyone on
and
the West
twice
is
on
gonna win.
Sunday.
cannot beat Milwaukee.
Every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
I don't
Disagree.
see them getting, but you know what's the sad thing is? Out of the teams left in the West, Phoenix and Clippers, the Mavs should have dominated both teams.
Nah.
The Mavs are a better team than both of those teams.
The whole season against Phoenix was not good for the Mavericks.
And the teams in the East, the teams left in the East.
Well, that's the teams in the East.
The Mavs would have dominated either one of those teams. That
If you
Atlanta
put
or
the
Milwaukee
Mavericks in the
finals.
East, yes, okay.
No. I mean, like in a finals appearance.
I mean, if you put, is this not what you just said? They would win in the East, of course, because that's the East. It's different.
No, I mean, if they met those two Eastern Conference teams in a finals appearance, they would dominate either one of those teams.
I don't know about dominate.
I think both teams in the West are way better than anyone on the East. That's just what
Well,
I think.
yeah.
the only thing that you have is that if Giannis actually, when he gets into the finals, turns it on in a couple of areas that he hasn't been able to.
But isn't it about like Chris Middleton who needs to turn it on? I mean, Giannis is going to do Giannis, but you got to have somebody else that helps him at some point, right?
But
it's Chris Middleton. They've won the games because Chris Middleton came and got on point,
right?
Not because of Giannis. Giannis is always going to get his.
By the way, Chris Middleton, the best player on the Bucks. It is not Giannis. Chris Middleton is the best player on that team.
You should probably stop basketball talking.
Nope. Chris Middleton is the best player on that team.
No, not true.
You should stop basketball talking.
100%.
Not true.
Not
true.
He's the most complete player on that team.
Not true.
They're not there because of Giannis.
They are.
Yes, they are.
Antetokounmpo.
God bless you.
They're not there because of him.
No. And yes, now you're God.
Thank God this is not an NBA. Thank God this is not an NBA show.
You know what?
Your
You know what? Dirk is better than Luka.
Hey, your basketball thoughts are giving me diarrhea.
Dirk's better than Luka.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Seriously, stop it. I mean, playoff Dirk, yeah, because playoff Dirk in that run, that was the most awesome player that Dallas has ever seen.
So
but that doesn't mean that Luka's not going to top it.
Well, he hasn't yet.
No, but it doesn't mean he's not.
Grace.
So Dirk needs to quit spouting off about Luka being better than him.
No, that's Dirk's style.
I know, but it sucks and it's stupid and it's dumb. He's making himself sound like an idiot.
Dirk is super passive aggressive, anyways. He wants the deflection, right? But he's right.
I mean, Dirk, you got a street named after you. Luka will never have a street named after him.
Well, no, he might if he pulls off 2 championships.
You think he's
Depends on what
because he's
happens.
not going to stay?
By the way,
how sad is that for the Mavericks? That's
since
all
we're
it's gonna
right
take.
here, everybody else has been talking about how much of a dumpster fire that the Dallas Mavericks are right now, including myself.
They are.
And it took a little bit for me to actually step back and go, all right, let's see what's going on. Let's analyze it with your brain, and let's really see if there's any type of plan that could possibly come out of what the Dallas Mavericks are currently doing that would make some damn sense. So let me break this down for you guys. If 2 years ago, hell, a year ago, I were to tell you that the Dallas Mavericks, here's what they're going to do. They went and they found a dude. They found this dude in Vegas. Mark Cuban found this guy. This guy has played Vegas for all their money, has won at basketball because of his knowledge and his ability to get his analytics team, and he has run Vegas over the coals and made himself to where he's monetarily just shoulder to shoulder with Mark Cuban. He is kicking ass. He is kicking Vegas's ass at that rate because of his basketball knowledge. So Mark Cuban is going to grab this guy and he's going to say, hey, let me see your analytics that are going in and talking about all the points differences, the rebounds differences, what defensive styles work and what their areas. I want you to come in and hand over paperwork to my coaches, to whoever's here, and show them what they should be doing as far as how to beat the percentages in Vegas. And this was a thing that's offered. And then Rick Carlisle and Donnie Lee, which, by the way, if we can go over what Donnie Nelson has done for the Mavericks, he found Dirk. He was wanting us to get Giannis, and he found Luka. But there's a bunch of draft picks that are in there that he reached, that he stretched. And remember, Dennis Smith Jr., all these other guys that he went after. That was horrible because Dennis Smith Jr. right now is in the G League.
Yeah.
So,
we knew that after 10 games into his NBA career.
We didn't know that after 10 games.
I did.
I
called it.
You call a lot of bullshit, and finally one of it stuck. No, all right. Make sure you call the stuff that didn't stick.
I want to hear where you complete this because I got an opinion about it.
So I'm telling you that all this stuff happens a year ago without going through the emotion of seeing it happen, and so you lose Carlisle, which, by the way, we have seen Carlisle not work well with some players, right? We've seen this happen to where Rajon Rondo ends up with the Clippers or somebody else, and he's doing fine. He comes to Dallas, and he totally tanks because of the relationship that Rick can't produce with certain styles of players.
Okay,
so you end up losing Rick, which, by the way, I think Rick is awesome, and he's
not going jobless.
He's not. He'll end up with a different organization, but you're able to rebuild, and the rebuilding style that the Dallas Mavericks are going to do is not go after GM with skins on the wall and go grab the guy in Toronto or go grab Ainge. They're not going to grab any of these guys. What they're going to do is they're going to promote an ex-Dallas Mavericks player to that spot as a figurehead and have the Vegas guy running the odds behind it. And this is the idea behind it. And when you think about that, the NBA is a players' league. It is,
And I hate that. I hate that.
I'm
you
still
do?
talking.
I hate that.
The NBA is a players' league, and in order to acquire players, you need to have people to come in there and actually be able to talk the talk of somebody that stepped on the hardwood. And so you're going to have Michael Finley, you're going to have Dirk Nowitzki. They're going to be entering these players' homes saying, come play for the Mavericks. And you have your superstar. This could actually, if it works correctly, could jump past the Luka needs to win that championship on his own before players will come here. This could actually elevate them past that, and you could grab more players by having players represent your team. And doing so could speed up the process to getting this Mavericks team on board and up the ladder rung. And I'm saying that it may not be as big of a dumpster fire as people think it is. This actually might be a skip to the step that everybody thinks they need to do, and they may be able to jump right over it into building that better team a lot quicker. Now, it could end up being a dumpster fire, and we can all sit back and say we said it was, like Tim will do, because I said it too, that this looks like a dumpster fire. But I'm telling you right now, when you sit down and you look at where the positives could be for this team putting itself together, this dumpster fire just could be the whole thing burning to the ground to create something new and better.
I've always been perplexed, and Tim and I had this conversation. Why the Mavericks have never created or never the free agents never come here? There's no state income tax, right? You have an owner that spends money. Per my friends that play in the league say the facilities at the Mavericks are the best in the NBA, right?
Right.
So there's something there that they don't create free agents. And at this day and age, with everybody on TV, it's not because, we're not on TV anytime. That's the old Notre Dame recruiting scenario. We're on TV all the time. That makes no sense. Here's my opinion about the analytics in NBA. Now, are they going by the Moneyball approach of baseball? Does that work? Yeah, a little bit. But you also got to realize you're playing 5 guys in an NBA game. You're not playing 9.
Right.
Like you're not playing 9. And in baseball, the Moneyball analytics was the Bill James stuff was you have 1 or 2 guys touching it. You have 5 guys in the NBA that are touching. Like player evaluation, no matter what a sport it is, you're never going to get it right all the time.
Right, but okay, a couple of things to what you just got through saying. Number one, as far as the analytics and things to concern, if you want to look at some of the things that was done by the shadow GM guy, one of the things was with the implementation of the zone and Boban being in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And that changed the flow of a lot of the
But
games.
it worked, though, didn't it?
It did work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It did work.
It worked.
And that was one of the analysis that was leaked out that he went ahead and threw out that Carlisle may not have been down with, but he felt like he was forced to do, which, by the way, looked like it was a smart move.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other of these has happened down the line, but that's one of those things, those small changes that maybe your gut coach or whatever or old school coach isn't going to go by. As far as your free agents, I have always looked at where the big teams and the super teams end up being created at, and it's usually not where just one guy is, unless it was Miami.
Yeah.
Miami, okay, there you go. Golden State created some of their own, and then they put it together, won the championship, and then here comes KD.
Sure.
But your places like Boston, your places like Brooklyn, those teams that have created these super teams that we all look at and go, we want one of those, it's because of their location as far as where the media centers are.
You don't think Dallas is a top 5 market, though?
It is a top 5 market. The problem is that right now with the name of Dallas, it doesn't rank as high in players' minds as, and you can look at.
That's sad, though. That's sad because it should.
Well, but it doesn't. And you just look at entertainment. You can look at entertainment and what cities are always quoted in whatever songs or whatever. It's California. Yeah. It's New York. They'll talk about they're in Miami.
It's perception.
And now they want to see their names going to these places with big numbers. And I tell you this, most NBA players, hell, most professional players do not give a rat's ass about state income tax or not.
Oh, that's maybe why they don't have.
They don't. And the reason is because whether they're playing in Oklahoma or whether they're playing in New York, but they want that big name. Yeah. but on the Sports Center crawl or the web page or the Twitter or whatever, wherever that tweet happens, that's going to say their name.
All right.
It's going to say Miami.
Here we go.
And then it's going to say, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
That's what they want. That's
Yeah.
all they care about,
I get
because
it.
those little nickels and dimes and stuff, they've got everybody else worried about them. The only ones that the player cares about, because they can run around like Anton Walker and think, oh, I'm set for life until they have no money. So that's where that's at.
Gotcha.
So here's the deal with the Dallas Mavericks. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan and you hate the direction this team has been going since 1989, other than the 3 Super Bowl championships,
Uh-huh.
you're going to hate what's in store for the Dallas Mavericks, because you are about to have a GM, and you have had a GM, an owner that acts as the GM that knows nothing about basketball/football. And this has been proven, Colby, in the last week.
Okay.
Okay, we already know that Mark Cuban's the real GM of the team.
Do we?
Donnie Nelson had the title. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure he made recommendations. Who has the final say in the Dallas Mavericks organization?
Well, Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Right.
Just like Jerry Jones with the Cowboys, right?
Well, not anymore, but yeah, I see where you're going.
No, well, clear, yeah. Historically,
Right.
during his ownership tenure. So Mark Cuban came out and said immediately that the 2 GMs that are potentially on the market, one is on the market, one's potentially on the market,
Danny Ainge and,
Masai Ujiri,
yeah, the dude in
the
Toronto.
2 hottest names for a GM
Right.
that are out there, he immediately said, nope, we will not seek them out.
Right.
Number one, because then he'd have to give up control, because
Uh-huh.
they're actual GMs. Number 2, because he doesn't want to give up control. He wants to be in control of this club, and you know what? It's his club. He's the owner.
Right.
He can do whatever he wants, just like Jerry Jones. But he is instead looking for ex-Mavericks.
Right.
Other names to be Michael Finley's high on the list for the president of basketball operations. Today, from DallasBasketball.com, in my text thread I talked to you guys about, Jet Terry is now on the list.
Man, it'd be awesome.
Top 5 to be
Oh.
either a coach or a GM.
I'd say GM.
There's an issue with that.
No, there's
You
not.
don't know if you want him as a coach or a GM. Which one is he?
So they're basically keeping
He's
the culture
neither.
of the people that
Here's the
played
answer.
there.
He's neither.
So they're looking internal, like the old past players to create a culture, but their culture wasn't really very good, very good.
I'm all for Michael Finley being part of the team. If he
Right.
wants to be president of basketball operations, which what the hell do they do? They input to the owner. This is
Right.
what I think we should do. Okay, it doesn't matter. Mark Cuban's not going to do anything Mark Cuban doesn't want to do. Okay, whether it's hiring a GM, hiring a coach, Mark Cuban's going to hire who he wants.
How intricately involved do you think Mark Cuban really is?
I think Mark Cuban has his finger on everything.
You think so?
It is his team.
Yeah, but I think he lets GMs be GMs and coaches coach.
He is the GM. It's painfully obvious,
I don't know,
which
man.
is fine. But you know what? If it's the case, don't expect anything good out of the Mavericks in the near future.
I just told you the
Doncic
reason
will
why
leave.
you should.
No, Doncic is gone.
No, he's not.
no.
If Bob Voulgaris is part of this team in the next 2 years, he is gone.
I think
Bob
he's got,
Voulgaris has got to be gone.
There is no way Luka is going anywhere for the next 5, 6, to almost 7
I
years.
would
Isn't it a
like
little-
to think that.
isn't it a little bit predicated on a little bit of the Aaron Rodgers scenario. Who are they going to get in to help him, right? Like how's the front office going to get some people around him? Because obviously Porzingis,
that's the problem.
isn't it?
There is
Is
no
it-
front office right now. It is Mark Cuban.
Okay, that's fine. But when you
Oh,
say
God, I need a shot.
Doncic leaving, it's a bit like Aaron Rodgers. It's okay.
Right.
So who are you going to the whole team? I don't give a shit if it's a GM, front office, whoever it is, Cuban. Who are you going to get in to help Doncic to make him stay? Because Porzingis ain't the answer. I promise you this right now.
No.
No.
He ain't even. So
No one believes that he is.
Who are you going to get in? So he's going to look. He's got 2 years left on his rookie contract, right? So in 2 years, he's going to look at it as like, okay, who are you bringing in to help me to win a championship? And if you don't, I'm going to roll like a putt. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. Because he's going to get max contract no matter where he goes. It doesn't really matter. I mean, his money is he can make what he makes. It doesn't matter where he goes. It's not a negotiation of
All
money.
right, let me ask y'all this. You guys are hiring the next GM of the Dallas Mavericks.
Uh-huh.
You think you got your guy.
Right.
You call him in. You fly him in. You sit down. You're on that side of the table. He's right here. You guys ask him about whatever player scheme, whatever his belief in the NBA system and what it takes to be a champion and what it means to be a champion. And then he says, cool, hey, by the way, I've got some other business interests. I've got a couple of companies on the West Coast, some companies on the East Coast. I'm on the chairman of the board up north. I can probably dedicate about 35% of my time to the Dallas Mavericks as the GM. But when the draft comes around, we're going to go 45, 50%. But I'll be paying attention to everything because I got my ear to the ground.
Uh-huh.
But I'm willing to give you guys 35, 40% every day, 2 to 3 hours every day of my time to the Dallas Mavericks as the GM.
Who the hell hires him?
Mark Cuban.
Wow.
Because that's Mark Cuban. That's who he is. That is what he does.
Cool.
He is not fully involved in the Dallas Mavericks because he has so many other things going on. And that's the same thing with Jerry Jones. The Cowboys aren't the only thing he does.
Yeah.
You can't be a successful GM unless you are 100% invested in that team.
Well, you relinquish all those. So you have to be the owner, and then relinquish those opportunities for the GM to have full control and manage. I mean, they're parallel tracks, right?
Yes, 100%.
They're parallel tracks, but that's why they're not successful. That's why they're not winning championships.
I mean, okay, right? They're not successful because of the lack of the ability to put a team around Luka. This is third season,
second
Right.
playoffs,
second playoffs,
out in the first round again.
right?
I don't know that that's not considered successful.
I mean,
You're still a
that's-
growing team.
That is exactly what it is. You look. You had Dennis Smith Jr. and you're like, man, all right, that draft pick doesn't look like what he's not able to play with Luka, and come to find out he can't play with anybody else.
Well, they're the same player.
And they're really not.
Oh no.
No. Dennis Smith Jr.
Because
wanted to have the ball all the time. He wanted to be the dude.
You flipped Dennis Smith Jr. into Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, but what
They
I'm saying,
won that trade.
Well, no, what I'm saying, Luka's obviously a better player, but Dennis Smith wanted to be the guy. Like he wanted to be one.
And where'd that get him?
So, and by the way, he lost all kinds of confidence once he went.
Oh yeah.
And then he ended up with the Detroit Pistons, and now he's in the G League.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can put it back together because he was a winner. He just was in the
They
wrong
traded him
spot.
to the Knicks first, right?
They traded him to the Knicks,
yeah.
and then the Knicks got rid of him, and he went to Detroit, and now
That's
he's
sad.
in the G League. So as far as that all concerned, I think the building process of this team, because of the lack of other draft picks and what have you, has been some moves that I have agreed with. They have not panned out. So because of that, now you have your reset switch that is happening. And by the way, it's happening while Luka's about to sign the Supermax. And all this is happening. Carlisle was on the hot seat because he didn't always get along with Luka.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Right.
That was a thing. Now, what Carlisle was going to be on the hot seat next season. That was it. So Carlisle jumps because why? Because his buddy got kicked. Why did his buddy get kicked? Because these draft picks and some of these trades that he made
Haven't panned out.
they didn't turn out.
Yeah.
And it was swing and miss. So as far as what your owner is doing in order to correct the mistakes, he finally said, "Look, enough of buddy."
But is Carlisle making those picks or is Donnie making those picks?
No,
Donnie
Donnie.
was Carlisle was on the hot seat because he didn't always work well with Luka, and sometimes he was unable to bend his mind around the analytics that the Vegas dude was handed.
Yeah.
So he was going to be on the hot seat. They didn't want to get rid of Carlisle because of the skin on the wall, which was the championship. But what happened was that he was notified that, hey, maybe your job is a little shaky.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, really? All right, preemptive strike. I'm out.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so that's what happened.
Especially
And by the way-
especially with all the coaching openings that's going on.
And
right?
by the
I mean,
way, there is no question in my mind. It was time for a change
Right.
at coach and
Yeah,
at
maybe.
the so-called GM. It was time.
Yeah,
that
maybe.
needed to happen.
maybe.
I don't dispute that at all.
Yeah.
But
So
Cuban has got to let somebody be the GM and hire a coach.
he is going to hire a GM and then a coach. And he also is going to go ahead and have his word and his say. Why? Because it's his damn team.
Yep, that's
Now,
not
this
gonna
is not the exact apples to apples it is Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys and Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks. I know we love to draw that correlation because we experienced Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, and we know what it's like. There is an actual GM. We have somebody that will be actually there in order to at least take the brunt of everything. Whether it's his decisions or not, this will actually be happening. There will be a GM. And Jerry's world, there is never one.
No.
There is not a GM. No, you're out, you're fired. Get out. And he can't fire himself, so that's fine. So as far as this being an exact situation, no. I think it's just the style of Cuban rubs people the wrong way, and they see this as an opportunity to look finally and go, look, the armor is broken.
Yeah.
Let's all attack. But if this Vegas thing works and this player idea works, then Tim, I swear to God, all that rant you just did was for absolutely nothing.
Ratings.
Listen, it's really, really proven it's whether it's basketball businesses, whether it's sports business, whether it's business in general. Owners own, coaches coach, GMs GM. Those are the successful programs that work cohesively. Listen, that's what you pay these people to do. And when you start like peeing,
I feel like a cat watching ping pong, by the way.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. When you listen, you're hiring these people to do their jobs. Why do you not? It's just business in general, right? Yeah. Like let the people that you hire do their deal.
And look, there's another business sector that corresponds very closely to the sports world in terms of ownership and success. The restaurant/bar business. A restaurant owner should not be the chef. The chef should not be the owner. The bar owner should not be the bartender. The bartender should not be the bar owner.
Could be the smartest thing you've ever said.
Because
what if the owner can really
cook? Conflict.
Hey, let them do let them do what they do until they don't do what they do.
Smartest
How about
thing
that?
I ever said.
It's pretty. It's really close. I mean, really close. That's a great analogy to the restaurant bar business because I'm in both, right? That's a great analogy. Let them do what they do until they don't do what they do. It seems a little weird,
right?
But really, it really is, man. Yeah. It really, really is. Let the owner support the people that are running your business. Don't let your GM be. If your GM is mixing drinks in the back of your bar, it's a bad business.
It's a bad idea.
The business isn't working if he has to do that, right? I don't know.
So, boys, let's roll down real quick through the favorites for the head coaching candidacy of the Dallas Mavericks with the odds. Long overdue here. We're running way behind.
Really?
I'm way long-winded.
I may have talked a lot, too.
Jamal Mosley at 10-11, who's a current Mavs assistant. And, Colby, you said that would be a great hire.
That's your guy. He's already got camaraderie with Luka. You're ready to rock and roll. And he's malleable and also ability to talk the players' talk. Let him go.
It's kind of assumed widely that he is Luka's choice.
Yes.
Becky Hammond.
Oh, wow.
Spurs lady assistant coach with the Spurs.
Flip if
6
that happened.
6-1.
I would flip. I would be ready to go.
Can women coach basketball, Colby?
Yes.
Okay, I was just checking.
Was there an analytic guy that made these odds?
Terry, this is from Caesar's Palace.
Oh.
Terry Stotts, 6-1. Of course, most recently the Blazers head coach. He's interviewing with the Pacers this week.
I'm out on Terry Stotts.
I'm out on Terry Stotts as well. No interest. By the way, I'm out on this guy too. Former Maverick at 8-1. Lakers assistant Jason Kidd.
I'm in.
I do not want him as a head coach on my club.
I'm ready to go.
He's never done anything.
I'm in.
Here's the reason why. Real quick. LeBron has already anointed him.
As what?
As a good coach.
Well, he wasn't a good enough coach to be in the new freaking whatever it is, the movie. What is it?
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
I'm telling you.
Jason Kidd's old.
Yeah, but when Jason Kidd now has gotten the quote love
are you trying to tell
from
me
LeBron, are you trying to not tell me that LeBron runs this league? Because he does.
So what does that mean?
That means that the players are going to look and it's like.
So Jason Kidd's a coach will get all of the free agents?
Yeah, Michael Jordan pointed at Phil Jackson. Now everybody wanted to play for Phil Jackson.
No, I'm not going to lie to you.
Jordan wasn't there.
I'm not going to lie to you. Jason Kidd's got some cachet. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Like people are going to go and he's coached already. Just because you don't like him.
No, I love Jason Kidd. I don't think he's a good coach.
No,
I don't think he's a good coach.
Okay.
All right? I just said it's an opinion.
This is your list, I guess.
John Calipari. That's not my list. John Calipari 9-1.
I mean,
I'm
that'd be
out.
fun.
I'm out.
Not even a little bit.
That'd be fun.
University of
though.
Kentucky head coach, 2012 NCAA title. Mike D'Antoni at 9-1.
Get out. Get the
Wow.
fuck
I'm also
out.
out because he's not a good NBA coach.
You know, we realized we've almost talked an hour total of basketball.
Yep, I know.
D'Antonio's coached
Stop
for
it.
every. Are you a good coach if you've coached for like every team in the NBA? Does that make you a good
I don't know.
coach?
Phil Jackson was a good coach.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
a
but
good
he's played for.
for a lot.
He did 2 or 3. Like D'Antonio seems like he's coached for every team
Some
in the
dude
NBA.
named Pablo Lasso is at 12-1, who
Man.
coaches some team called Real Madrid, who I thought was a soccer team.
Well, that's Luca's old team.
A
That's
soccer?
right. That's right. That's his old coach.
No, I'm out. Chauncey Billups, 17 years in the NBA. He's a Clippers assistant. I'm still out.
I might be in on that.
We're skipping over Sam Cassell because we're coming back to him in a minute.
Are we? Do we have to?
Yep, because this is our stroll down Mavericks memory lane.
We don't really have to do that.
Mike Budenholzer, Bucks head coach.
Do you say booty holer?
For some reason, the booty holder is on the. They're in the freaking conference finals, and he's on the chopping block. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
And then Dirk Nowitzki at 66-1
I would freaking love that.
as a head coach.
Yes.
Why?
It's a players' league.
It's like
fool.
Roger Staubach coming to coach the Cowboys.
It's no.
That.
It's not.
All right.
It's not. It's
So,
not
boys,
the same.
I offer you Sam Cassell at 14-1.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Is he coached?
And as I was doing no, he's never been a head coach. As I was doing some research on Sam Cassell,
Steve Nash didn't either, and they lost. They just lost.
Steve Nash is a terrible head coach.
He is not.
There you go.
So as I was doing some research on Sam
You really
Cassell,
have bad opinions about basketball.
that's based on your also poor opinions of basketball. Do 2 poor opinions make a good opinion?
No, it just means
Is this
I'm right
math?
and you're wrong.
So Sam Cassell, of course, played 15 years. We all know him from Houston,
Uh-huh.
winning the 2 titles with Olajuwon and the gang, Robert Horry.
Right?
So I'd forgotten that he was part of the trade out of Houston that took Charles Barkley to Houston in 1996.
Uh-huh.
He played just 22 games. Then he was in Phoenix, and then he was traded to Dallas
Right.
for Michael Finley. I'm sorry, traded to Houston. God damn it. Traded to Phoenix
Griggs.
with Michael Finley, AC Green, and a second-round pick. By the way, that second-round pick turned out to be Bubba Wells, who played 1 season in the league. He was out. For Jason Kidd, Tony Dumas, and Lauren Meyer.
Uh-huh.
Names from my Mavericks' favorite basketball team ever in the 90s.
Jimmy Jackson was on that team.
Jimmy Jackson's my favorite Maverick of all time.
I thought you'd
I
be
got
a
a
monster
story about
mash
Jimmy
guy.
Jackson. I told you he dunked on me in high school.
So, I bet he dunked on your pumpkin head.
No, he did. I mean, Pumpkinhead.
After just 16 games with the Mavs, he was traded with Chris Gatling, Jim Jackson, and George McLeod and Eric Montross to the Nets
Eric Montross.
for Sean Bradley, Ed O'Bannon, Robert Pack, and Khalid Reeves.
Wasn't Keith Van Horn in that trade?
No. That was Sam Cassell's 3rd team that year. And by the way, I had no idea that Sam Cassell in 2008 played for the Celtics and won the title with the Celtics in 08.
Where'd he go
I do
to?
not even remember.
Where'd he go to college?
State Jackoff State.
No, Florida State, I think, right?
No, it was somewhere near Area
No.
51
No, I think he went to Florida State.
because of his alien
It's the
head.
same we have nowhere.
I used to call him Enemy Mine, right?
So anyway, that was our stroll down Mavericks memory lane with those names and
Wow.
the Sam Cassell connection. Because, dude, when I was looking at all that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. I remember that guy.
How do you not remember the trio of those, like the greatest marketing tool in the world?
Jamal Jackson, Jason Kidd, and Jamal
Mashburn,
Jim Jackson, the 3 J's. Do you remember the marketing song?
Tony Braxton.
No, that's who broke them up.
Yeah. No,
Right.
I thought that was their theme. That was the theme song.
I should have piped
Y'all
up that.
remember that Tony
song.
Braxton once had her breast deflate on a red carpet?
Oh no, there was like
Oh man, if Johnny wouldn't have been talking there, that was going to be a drop.
that was a run through. It was the run. She ran through him.
All right, we're moving on from around the sports.
Do that.